Welcome back to Armageddon. I'm Lee, and on this week's episode I've managed to get my hands on the second series of the Mighty Masters Master of the Universe figures, so the whole second wave. So we've got Fisto, Trap-jaw, Battle Armor He-Man and Battle Armor Skeletor. So let's go and take a closer look. So here they are, here's wave 2. Not quite 100% sure on the character selection, but I guess we've always got to get another He-Man and Skeletor, right? So chronologically we got the Battle Armors and Trap-jaw, which is a nice addition, and Fisto. They all come with some really nice art on the edge of the card, just like last time. Really well done, so they will display nicely. And again, they were the same price as last time, so for me that was $12.99 New Zealand. And Farmers, where I bought them, had a buy one get one half price. So I actually went in just to pick up the new Chronicles Skeletor and saw these on the shelf and could not leave them there. So let's open them up and take a closer look and give some thoughts. Okay, so here they are out of the package. I guess we'll start with He-Man, first figure. Very much the same as the last one. This time, of course, he's got a different action feature. He's got the swinging arm chop, which I think Man-at-Arms and Beastman had. The armor is all sculpted, so there is no action feature this time. That does not spin or dent. It's just got one sculpted dent, which I don't mind because I think possibly it may have been impossible to fit that whole mechanism into this tiny little chest. And of course this time this is a completely new sculpted chest, which is just for He-Man, so it's pretty good. Everything else is the same articulation, slight turn on the head, arms are the same articulation in the legs, lack of paint on the belt, which is a shame. And yeah, but of course this time we get the battle axe, which is nice. So between the first release and this release, we kind of have two of the OG He-Man's weapons. So that is He-Man. Next up, we'll look at Skeletor. It's quite a few different changes, big changes with Skeletor this time. So once again, it's the same head, exact same head sculpt, same paint, a little bit of movement up and down there. No ball joints in the shoulders again. Same leg articulation. This time, this Skeletor has power punch and sword throwing action. And again, no action feature on the armor. So we'll take a closer look at that armor. It does look good. I do quite like the little paint detail on the bat. Sorry, just try and keep that in focus. But yeah, it's nice. It's nicely done. Nicely done, very vintage, very classic. So that's Skeletor. Now, big differences with Skeletor this time around. We've got all new arms. All new arms. So I do prefer these kind of arms. This was the original Skeletor, and you can see we basically got He-Man's arms put on Skeletor. This time we get Skeletor arms. They don't have the little monster fins, the little jagged bits on the ends, but they do look really good. And I think it would have been better if they'd sculpted these earlier and put those on the original Skeletor. I think he would have looked a lot better. The big difference, and the thing I do not like, is these new boots. These are actually boots. And yeah, I mean, what can I say? Half painted boot. No, it doesn't work. Doesn't work. I like the half boot nod, but again, we'll just pull out Skeletor. You know, they gave him monster feet last time, and I didn't mind that because that was a cool nod. The half painted was a cool nod to the first release vintage figure, but this time, I mean, why didn't they just give him those same legs? Yeah, not a fan. I think they dropped the ball on that one, so that is Skeletor. Oh, sorry, and he comes with the power sword, which he threw at the camera while I was demonstrating his thing. So this time we get a purple version of He-Man's power sword. It's not a half sword. So yeah, between the two releases, between those two releases, we've kind of got you know, the original Skeletor's weapons. So that's nice. That's Skeletor. We will move into Fisto. Again, very classic, very vintage. It comes with a sword, which is nice, exactly like the original. So again, this could be shared with Triclops. So let's hope we see a Triclops, because it's a pretty easy one for them to do. And the fist, right? That's Fisto's big thing. But if, this time he doesn't have the classic swinging fist pounding action. This time we get Fisto with the power punch, which the vintage figure had that, but it also had both. I think we could have got both, or I would prefer the action to be on the fist than the waist. But anyway, he's also very ginger looking this time around, which seems to be the new look for Fisto. No paint on the belt, so very basic, but again, all new sculpting on the chest, so that arm is not removable, but does look very good. And yeah, we could also see a Clamp Champ using this armor. Now, articulation, same as He-Man, but there is no twist on the fist. No twist on the fist, yeah. I can see it's glued in there. It's a bit of a shame. Make him a little bit more posable. You can do some different types of punches. In fact, the way it's posed, he actually doesn't do a very convincing fist. And if you know how to punch, you wouldn't be holding your fist like that and then doing a cross. But anyway, that's Fisto. Still looks really good. It looks like a nice little representation of the original. The last figure. Fan favorite, one of my all-time favorites in the vintage line. Who doesn't love Trap-jaw? He was epic in the new movie. And let's see what they did with this figure. Now, on early pictures online that I'd seen of Trap-jaw, I actually saw him without the belt. And I thought, oof, I don't like that. That green belt is super iconic for him, with the skull and crossbones. It's, you know, he needs that. So I'm glad that he has it. The jaw. Yay, the jaw moves, right? It's not Trap-jaw without an articulated jaw. So the jaw is moving. He's got those nice black eyes with the yellow pupils. We'll just zoom in there, show you that. So looking very cool. And he's got the loop. He's got the loop in the top of the helmet. So with a very fine piece of string, you could potentially hang a big piece of string and have him slide down like the vintage toy was supposed to do. He's got He-Man arms. He-Man, well, no, this is so, again, this is a fully sculpted piece that is not removable. It's part of the sculpt. So that's interesting. And of course, that being He-Man's arm, vintage figure, he had sort of cybernetic parts. He sort of shared a very similar sculpt to Man-E-Face's. So this time it's just a He-Man arm. And also he had Man-E-Face's legs. I think they're also used on Roboto in the vintage line. This time we're getting these boots. So this is the same leg boot combination that was used on the Battle Armor Skeletor. Not sure. You know, the original figure, they were quite high cut. And they had a nice little green piece there, very sort of robotic, cybernetic, which we definitely saw in the new movie. His legs were very cybernetic. That cool scene where Man-at-Arms thought he had him down and out on the ground, and you could just hear his mechanical legs just sort of fire up, and he blasted him. So speaking of blasters, well, what is this? That's the action feature, in case you're wondering. And as you can see, it actually makes that spin. So we've got the hook and the claw, so there's no blaster to be seen, but they're on a weird spinning gimmick, which I guess, you could say you can have one or the other, but neither of them stay in the front. They just kind of dangle and spin. Sometimes when you flick it like I'm doing now, it does sort of end up spinning, which can be quite cool, I suppose. But yeah, interesting. Definitely looks like, at a glance, the vintage Trap-jaw. So there we have it. That is wave 2. I'm going to do some quick mix and match in a minute with some of those other accessories. Compare them to the first wave, and let me know what your thoughts are. If you like this video, well, if you like it, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. Feel free to share it. Please share it. All that good stuff. And drop me a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Did you find the first wave okay? Are you looking forward to the second wave? What other characters would you like to see in future waves? I know me myself, this isn't what I really wanted to see. I don't think I picked any of these as what I wanted to see. I forget what I chose. Possibly Merman would have been nice. Stratos, I think, would have been a good one. Teela, I think it would have been good to see Teela and Evil Lyn. They share a lot of parts in the vintage line, so that would have been quite an easy one for them to whip up. But anyway, here we go. That's Series 2. So let's take a closer look at some of the mix and match.
Galaxy home, where warriors and fighters do battle for the galaxy. Take control of the castle of doom. Take flight on Pegasaurus and roll out in a demon fighter.